Good day YouTube, I'm Hills on the Hunt. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we have my weekly watches. So let's go. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. So yeah, we have my recent watches, my weekly watches. There's 7 titles in total. I'm recording this a little bit later just because I've been a little bit under the weather recently, so my voice has been kind of coming and going, so sometimes. But yeah, obviously give me a chance to watch a few movies. This takes me up to Sunday the 25th of January. So yeah, we'll go from there. I'll go through the movies. Let me know what you think. So we started the week off with To Catch a Thief, starring Cary Grant, Grace Kelly, Jace Roy Landis, John Williams, Bridget Orber, Charles Vanel, directed by the great Alfred Hitchcock. From 1954. So something I've wanted to do recently is get into more Hitchcock movies. I mean, I've seen Psycho and I loved it, but the whole mystery element of it, I really want to enjoy. And weirdly, like, the need for me to get into Hitchcock didn't come from Hitchcock itself. Actually came from Dario Argento, who did this movie, Do You Like Hitchcock? Which was a kind of ode for his love of Alfred Hitchcock's movies. The mystery, the kind of misdirection, everything kind of in to do with it got me really intrigued in the Hitchcock movies, and there are more I picked up, but this was the first one I managed to grab hold of, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was slick, it was smart, it was clever, like visually stunning with the French Riviera. Your two leads, Cary Grant, Grace Kelly, were very good. The screen time they shared was just like magic. It really was magic between the two of them. And the story itself was quite decent. Cary Grant's character, John Roby, played a cat burglar thief. I think he had the nickname The Cat as well. And he's retired now, but the crimes have started again, and they're exactly the same, not motive is the word I'm looking for, the same signature as what he used to have. So naturally people think it's him doing it again. But it's not. I'm not sorry if it's a spoiler, a movie from 1954, but there you go. So yeah, he steps in to kind of figure out what's going on, and that's where he runs into Grace Kelly's character, Frances. Her and her mother are staying at a villa, and they're on a list of high profile clients, and he's there to kind of just entwine with them, with the insurance company, to try and solve what's going on. And naturally him and Frances kind of get closer, and truths start coming out. She already knows who he is and is under the impression that he's done this, and he's trying to prove he didn't do it. And it's really nicely done. Like I said, visually it's stunning. It's really well done. Like the lakes and the view, the overcast views of French Riviera is just really good, really well done. Yeah, slick movie. These two are very good together. Like, and Grace Kelly's gorgeous. Just look at her there. My God, she's stunning. Like, yeah, really good movie. Really enjoyed this. As always with my reviews, I always put my Letterboxd review up in the corner here so you can see kind of what I thought of it. Just a rating. But yeah, definitely really good. If you haven't visited Hitchcock, or this is kind of stuff you wanted to get into, I found this a really good starting point. It's like, it doesn't take too much effort. It's just nice pace. It's just nice and slick and enjoyable, quick all the way through. Yeah, good start to the week. To Catch a Thief. We then move from the slick to this Gorotica. From 1993, directed by Hugh Gallagher, starring Getty Chasson, Dingo Jones, Bushraid Gutterman, Brady Debussy. Now, if you saw my review for Gorhor, this follows a similar premise, similar range of characters. So it is part of a trilogy, quote unquote trilogy. The movies aren't linked together, but they're from the same director, same cast, kind of in each of the movies. I had fun with this one as well. I loved Gorhor. I think it was just bonkers and bizarre, and this followed the same premise. Um, this film is about Dingo Jones and Bushray Gutterman, or Neil and Max in the movie, who are jewel thieves. They pull a heist, but one of them gets shot. I think Neil gets shot, and to ensure that the diamond doesn't get taken, he swallows the diamond. And I think Max just kind of takes him around, just trying to get the diamond out of it to get his payday. They run into Carrie, played by Getty Chason, who helps them. They run into her at a graveyard, and yeah, she agrees to help the guys, but she has an ulterior motive. She's not interested in the diamond. She's not interested in the money. She's interested in the dead body because she's a necrophiliac. Yeah, we've delved into that path, and yeah, this is what happens. It's then Max trying to Neil trying to get the money for the diamond. Max's dead body just lying there, and Carrie trying to have sex with the body. It's kind of how I can really describe it. She treats it as if it's a real guy. She bathes it, she shaves it, she does everything, and that's not even the weirdest part of the movie. She then takes it to her friend, Blake, who can. He's got some ability where he can cleanse the body so it doesn't, obviously a rotten body, kind of not left in like frozen conditions or whatnot, in cool conditions, it's going to start smelling. I don't say this from experience. I'm just saying. But yeah, so she takes it to him where he can like put something on it or do something. Turns out Blake also wants to have sex with the body, because why would he not? So you end up with a scenario where you have two people trying to have sex with a dead body, one trying to cut a diamond out of it to sell it, and it's just carnage. It is just absolute chaos, but it's brilliant fun. It's just silly. When you go into a low budget movie, you kind of have this expectation of what you're going to walk into. This takes it to another level, and like Jetty Chason, Jetty Chason plays Carrie. She's stunning. Like, she's an absolute queen. She's wild. If you think you're going to not enjoy this movie, just watch the first 5 minutes and then you'll decide whether you're going to enjoy it. I will not say any more, but yeah, if you get hold of it, check it out. Like I said, they're just low budget, silly fun, but they're entertaining enough that you don't have to take them seriously. There's gore in it, but it's not like an over excessive use. It's not like Terrifier style gore, but there's a bit in there. Again, the story matter's kind of going to be way out there. So take it for what it is. Just have fun with it. Yeah, it was just silly. It was just the whole concept was just bonkers. But yeah, it was fun overall. Gorotica. Okay, so we went from the slick to the sick to the long walk. So this is 2025 movie, directed by Francis Lawrence, starring Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson, Garrett Waring, Tut Newt, Charlie Plummer, Ben Wang, Judy Greer, and Mark Hamill. Like I said, 2025. I love this movie. I absolutely love this movie. And do you know what the crazy thing is? Like, I've seen reviews of this movie, and I've seen people rate it highly, and I've seen people rate it not so highly. And I've focused more on the not so highly to try and understand why. Again, everybody in the world on planet Earth is entitled to their opinion of a movie. Not everyone has to like the same movies as everyone else. You see it on Instagram and Facebook. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about because you don't like this movie. No, I know what I'm talking about, and so do you. But we just don't need to share the same opinion. So I love this movie. Now, I've seen people talk about it and people say, oh, well, it's just a movie about people walking. It is. It is. I mean, it doesn't hide the fact that that's what it's about. I mean, the title is The Long Walk. The picture is two guys walking. Every image on the back is people walking. So you kind of know what you're walking into. No pun intended there. But that is the reality. But the movie is more about the movie itself. It's about breaking the movie down in getting into the innards of what's going on. It's about breaking down each individual character. And that, for me, is what made it so good. Your two leads, Hoffman and Johnson, Ray and Peter, phenomenal. Seriously, seriously good. Both of them. Like Ray, both different characters as well. Some completely different characters. Ray is very, very motivated to get kind of what he wants at the end of this. He's not really in it for the money. He's in it for the emotion and what's happened to him and his family in the past. So that's what he's in for. And Peter is in it for to get a better life for himself and his family. Like his family is no longer, so he's trying to find a better life for himself, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong. So it's about breaking those two characters down. Plus you've got all your side characters who also play an important role. They blend these two together, and you kind of get everything put into place and things like that. And then you've got Mark Hamill as the chief or whatever he's the major, I think that's what his name is in the movie. You don't see his face because he has sunglasses on, I think, until the very end, maybe. I can't remember if he takes his sunglasses off at the end. But yeah, it's essentially, that's what it is. And it's the breakdown of the characters, and you find yourself kind of resonating with each character. And understanding why they're doing what they're doing, and getting emotionally attached to each character, especially your two leads. And that's why I feel like it was such a good movie. If you're focusing on just the walking part, then it's similar to In a Violent Nature. If you've not seen that, again, I love that, but a lot of people didn't. Because I'm quite happy just to delve into the actual depth of the film itself, then as opposed to watching it on the surface. But yeah, your two leads were brilliant. And as the body started whittling down, you got to your main 5 or 6 people who kind of they focus on at the start of the movie. Then truths start coming out, emotions start coming out, and you find yourself almost, you kind of know what's going to happen, but you still want to see if they're going to throw a curveball. So yeah, so I love this movie. That tells you I love this movie. Yeah, just phenomenal. And again, people are going to have opinions. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, whether your opinion is different to mine. But yeah, for a movie that kind of dragged me in, for a simple concept, but dragged me in, yeah, I love it. Really, really good. Long Walk. We next moved on to The Unborn from 2009, director David S. Goyer, starring Odette Yustman, Megan Good, Gary Oldman, Idris Elba. Now you think with a cast like that, it'd be a good movie. It was not. I didn't get on with this at all. I think it tried too hard, and it tried too hard to be too many different things. It tried to follow the supernatural route, it tried to follow the psychological route, and it should have picked one and kind of just stuck to it. The whole premise of the movie should have been the supernatural, and that's what they should have focused on. But they were too busy trying to focus on the psychological side of Odette Yustman's character, Casey. So she's basically a young woman, a babysitter, who's, when she's babysitting one evening, she runs into some kind of like supernatural feelings with one of the kids in the house, who kind of attacks her, but it's not them, it's something inside of them that's attacking her. And then you're kind of following her along, where she's seeing and feeling all these weird things that are going on around her. So she goes to see doctors and whatnot because there's things happening in her eye, that her eye color's change. There's a lot of things happening. They tried to fit too much in, and they could have just stuck to one element. Like, you had the movie The Eye, the Asian version, and the American remake with Jessica Alba. That focused on one thing, although it was an okay movie, but this tried to fit too many different things, pick up things from too many different places and then fit them onto one movie, and it just didn't work. Like, some of the creepy, you had your creepy music and, you know, your little jump scare. It was okay for what it was, but like, I got bored. I really got bored because I just wasn't interested in what was going on. I didn't care what happened to her. I didn't care if you found out that whatever was happening. And then they followed into kind of like her mother leaving and finding out that she's an actual twin, and it's just so many different things they tried to fit into the story. And like, Gary Oldman and Idris Elba were barely in the movies. I think they were in right at the end as two priests, and that was it. And you could tell by just looking at them on screen that they didn't take it seriously. When you have leads doing that, like, I just felt like, don't care, don't care. Yeah, it was just not good. Like, I really didn't enjoy it. Yeah, The Unborn. If you've seen it, let me know what you think. But yeah. From there, we delved into Ice Sharks. From Emil Edwin Smith, starring Edward DeRoutier, Jenna Parker, Kylie Lyman Mercero, Clarissa Theobald, Travis Lincoln Cox. This was silly, but I had a good time. I had a really good time. Like, again, similar to kind of all these kind of movies, like Sharknado and all the kind of cheap ass shark related movies. You know what you're going to walk into. You know you're going to have CGI filled nonsense. But this was a good time. This was just silly. But then I have a affinity for movies in ice and snow. Again, I'm just sick like that because the whole premise of having the red blood over the white snow just adds something to a movie. When you throw sharks in, like, it's a good time to be had. And the thing is, like, I didn't like the characters, the cast and the characters in the movie. I didn't mind any of them. Like, they were actually really, really good. So they're working in this research station in the Arctic Circle, and yeah, there's just from nowhere, one of the researchers in a different area kind of gets pulled into the water and obviously gets massacred, and there's just blood everywhere, but they can't figure out what's causing it. When they think it's a polar bear or something along those lines, but it's something more gruesome. And what's happened is just sharks everywhere, ravenous sharks. You have to get that word in. Well, yeah, it says on the back here, aggressive ravenous sharks. You don't want to mess with those. But yeah, they start circling the ice station, and yeah, it's just a panic battle for survival, and it's just silly fun. It's really silly, but I had a good time. It's one of those movies you can just stick on in the back. You know it's just going to be CGI film, but again, visually it was really nice. Like, looking over the land and the sea and the whole ice-scapes and all that kind of stuff was just, again, visually it was really nicely done. Again, probably all CGI, but you take what you get. Yeah, but it was just fun. It was just silly nonsense fun. It was something you can just kind of switch on and barely pay attention to. I didn't mind it. I really didn't mind it. There's some of these kind of movies that are just super bad, and you're just like, holy hell, I hope you all die. But this one I didn't mind too much. I was quite happy that somebody survived. But yeah, if you get a chance, check it out, because it's just nonsense. I mean, seeing people on the those things, ski buggies, bikes, jeeps, whatever they're called. Buggies, I think, yeah, ski buggies. But yeah, it was fun. It was like there's some really fun scenes. There was some like real danger. The guy said that the cast in the movie was actually enjoyable. You didn't really hate any of them, and yeah, so you didn't mind. Like you didn't mind. I didn't mind overall. I had a good time. It's not going to win any Oscars. It's going to win any awards, but for a fun time that you just want to stick something on while you don't need to fully pay attention to it. Yeah, this was good. Nice shots. Take what you get with this. Yeah, enjoyable. We then travelled back in time to 1960 with 13 Ghosts. William Castle directed it, starring Charles Herbert, Joe Morrow, Martin Milner, Rosemary DeCoupe, and Donald Woods. I love this movie. I really, really enjoy this movie. Yeah, obviously a lot of people would have seen the remake with Matthew Lillard, Shannon Elizabeth, and that remake, which is not bad, but I absolutely adore this movie for its time, for its era. What William Castle was able to put together in this movie was just phenomenal. Now, tip that we learned, or no, my friend learned while we were watching this. Watch this movie with a pair of 3D glasses right by you, because there's elements in the movie. William Castle will tell you at the beginning, when he explains the movie, is there are points in the movie where the screen goes blue. If you stick your 3D glasses, you can actually see the ghosts, which is so cool for a movie made in 1960. That is genius, absolutely genius. It's just a fun movie. So the movie revolves around Dr. Zorba, who sadly passed, but was a wild kind of human being, has a big mansion, and he leaves the mansion to his nephew, who's very, very down on his luck. Him and his family, wife, daughter, and young child Buck. Buck is the main. Buck and Medea, the son and daughter, are kind of the main characters in this movie, where the parents are more the sidebars. And then the lawyer, Ben, who's trying to get everything kind of settled in the house, but with the house comes 13 ghosts, and it's trying to navigate life with the ghosts in the house. And yeah, it's slapstick, it's comedy, it's silly, it's just crazy. It's some spooky scenes for each time. Obviously, being in black and white, it kind of stands out a little bit more. And then you've got the element of the blue screen with the goggles on, with the 3D glasses on, which just add a whole different element to the movie, which is very, very enjoyable. But it's a fun movie. It really is enjoyable. If you have not seen it, I would highly recommend it. It's on the indicator label. Yeah, it's just a fun ride. Really, really enjoyable. It's one I can revisit continuously over and over again, because, again, it's one of those movies you don't have to kind of put a lot of effort into. You can just chill and enjoy for what it is. But yeah, the ghosts are really done nicely. The spooky scenes in the house are really done nicely. When you see Dr. Zorba, that's done really nicely. It's just a slick, smart movie. It's just a fun time. We watched it with 4 of us, and a couple of people who watched it for the first time, and even they loved it. So it is an enjoyable watch. And at 85 minutes, it's not going to take a lot of your time up either. If you haven't, highly recommend it. Go pick up 13 Ghosts. You will not regret it. Yeah. And then we ended the week with Leviathan. Director Andrei Zvyagintsev, starring Alexei Serebichov, Elena Lyadova, Vladimir Volonchenkov, Roman Madyanov, and Sergei Prokofiev. When I've butchered all of those names, I do apologize. But let's talk about this, because we talked about emotions and things like that in The Long Walk. We talked about characters that blend on the screen in To Catch a Thief. This has both of them. Like, the movie revolves around Kolya and his family. He's a mechanic, fisherman, but he lives in a really, really lovely house, kind of on the outskirts or in Russia. Where is he? Does it say? I can't remember where he lives. Yeah, but it revolves around him and his family and fighting against a corrupt mayor who's trying to take his land and his house. And Kolya's not giving up. He's not giving up. He will not give up his house. He'll fight till the end, both in court and physically. The more he fights, the more the battle intensifies. The corrupt mayor is not going to give up. He then brings his friend in, Dmitry from Moscow, who's a lawyer, to fight the case. And together they kind of gather evidence on the mayor and try and get it implicated that whatever he's doing, they're going to use against him to kind of keep Kolya's land. Kolya's also got a wife who, from the story, I think is a stepmom, not a mum itself. So Kolya's son, Romka, is not a big fan of her. He doesn't trust her, and he feels like it's just him and his dad. And you have this big main story where they're trying to fight for the land, but then you have inter-family battles, which are also going on. And it's those that grab you and drag you in, because the more he's battling the bigger picture, Kolya, he's losing sight of the inner battles within his house, things that are going on between his son and his wife, the hatred they have, his wife and the lawyer, and there's just so many different elements happening. And what then happens naturally in these kind of situations is the truth comes flooding out, and any control that Kolya had of the situation spirals into a bottle of vodka once he spirals into it, and then things just start falling apart around him. Listen, if you're going to watch a movie and you want a happy ending, this is not the movie for you. This is moody, it's atmospheric, but again, it's a word I've used a couple of times in this video. It's visually stunning. Because he lives on a lake or river sort of thing, you've got kind of long shots of, you get shots like that on the back, just looking across the lake, all times of the day, morning when the sun, evening when the sun sets. It's a snowy setting as well. Visually, it's stunning. So you're already dragged into the movie itself. Then you've got the characters. And I read somewhere that the scenes where they're sitting at a table or wherever drinking alcohol, the director kind of shot that 7 or 8 times using real alcohol. So what that element did was, instead of them acting the scenes out, they were really doing the scenes. And you can see that almost come through on the screen, that they are just, when they're laughing, when they're crying, when they're arguing, when they're whatever's happening, you can see the realistic element of that coming out on the screen. But again, similar to Long Walk, it dragged me in. Like I said, it is moody. It is a depressing movie, but it's an important movie, and the reason it's important is it factors in on corruption in real life, and it also leads you to believe that not every ending is going to be a happy ending. So you have to be prepared for every kind of situation in life, because if you're not, it will just engorge you and just destroy you from the inside. And that's what this movie teaches you. Should you watch it? Yes. Are you going to have a good time? Probably not. But are you going to think about it for days after? Yes, 100% you will. Similar to Long Walk, it's an easy 5 stars for me. It really is. Go check it out. I think Roy Barrett has also seen this, and I think he gave it 5 stars as well. Roy, correct me in the information below. Yeah, Leviathan. End to the week. What a end to the week. Cool. So that is everything for my weekly watches. Yeah, let me know what you thought of this, and I'll see you in the next one. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your comments down below, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. So take care.